We have massive news right now. Donald Trump's approval ratings are tanking. The overwhelming majority of Americans are rebuking the president of the United States. And it comes at a critical moment for the country as we are just days away from elections across America, elections that could decide the future of states like New Jersey, Virginia, and well, even the control of the House of Representatives. But that's not all. You have elections in Pennsylvania for the Supreme Court, state and local elections across the country, hundreds of elections. And at the same time, the president's approval rating continues to fall. And voters are beginning to increasingly rebuke the president in poll after poll, which means Democrats are set up for favorable results this Tuesday. Today, multiple polls were released, one by the Washington Post, two by NBC News, all showing the Republican Party and the President of the United States underwater. A Washington Post, ABC News, IPSOS poll found that 59% of Americans disapprove of President Trump's job performance just 9 months into his second term, with most saying that he has overstepped his power. Out of that 59%, 69% of independent voters disapprove of the president's performance to date. This is his lowest approval rating in a Washington Post ABC poll since January 6, 2021, the day his supporters tried to overthrow the United States Capitol. A new NBC poll shows that Democrats are now leading Republicans by 8 points in the 2026 congressional generic ballot. Widespread frustration of Donald Trump's handling of the economy, the rising cost of living, and the active threat to American democracy gives Democrats an opening, though both parties generally remain unpopular. That has not stopped his approval rating from falling. And as we enter day now 32, 33 of a government shutdown, NBC polling shows that 52% of voters, a majority, blame Donald Trump and congressional Republicans for the ongoing government shutdown, whereas only 42% blame Democrats. The survey is revealing widespread frustration with both parties, but primarily with the Republican Party, primarily with the Republican president, as there are cracks emerging within Republican circles as we speak right now over the way Mike Johnson and John Thune are handling the government shutdown and planning and messaging around it. And so we're in a situation where we are now 2 days away from a critical election across America, and Democrats are surging, Republicans are faltering. I want to talk about each of the elections so that you know what to expect on Tuesday night, and I will be providing you updates every hour throughout the night, long videos providing you updates on who is winning and where. In Virginia, you have three major statewide elections. For governor, where Abigail Spanberger is expected to defeat Winsome Earl-Sears, the lieutenant governor of Virginia. Spanberger is the Democrat. All signs point to a comfortable win for Spanberger. Now, the drama becomes a little more uncomfortable for Democrats when you go down ballot. In the lieutenant governor's race, Democrats are slightly favored, and in the attorney general's race, which has been marred by Jay Jones's text messages, well, Jones is down right now against the Republican incumbent attorney general. We will see if on election night, if Spanberger, in my opinion, if she wins by more than 8 or 9 points, which is what is expected, then Jay Jones will likely eke out a win and flip that seat as well. Remember, right now, Republicans control Virginia. They control the LG, the governor, and the attorney general. Democrats could have a clean sweep on Tuesday night. Going up a couple hundred miles in New Jersey, where Mikey Sherrill, the Democratic candidate for governor, is in a very tough race right now against Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican former New Jersey representative. It's a tight race, folks, but that's not surprising. This is a state that Vice President Kamala Harris won by just 6 points, a state that has been trending more and more red. And a fun fact that many people don't actually know is that it's been decades since New Jersey has had a consecutive party governor for more than 2 terms. So what that means is Democrats will serve as governor for 8 years, Republicans for 8 years, Democrats for 8 years, Republicans for 8 years. And the current Democratic incumbent, Phil Murphy, this is his second term. This is his 8th year. Before that, Republican Governor Chris Christie served for 8 years. And so all trends point to Jack Ciattarelli winning and flipping that state red. But all polls and all groundswell of support, along with the deep unpopularity of the current president, show that Mikey Sherrill, the former Navy fighter pilot, she is expected to eke out a win. It may be only 3 or 4 points. We may not know until later in the night whether or not she's successful. But what we do know is that she is favored to win and she is expected to win. Now, I want to shift gears to Pennsylvania because right now there are critical elections in Pennsylvania, not just down ballot, but also up ballot, where voters will decide whether or not Supreme Court justices in Pennsylvania are retained. And well, if successful, if they are retained, that would be a major victory for Democrats who will prevent the Pennsylvania Supreme Court from falling into Republican hands. If they're not retained, giddy up, because a lot can change in Pennsylvania coming up soon. Moving several thousand miles west, we have a major election in California, and the major election there is over Prop 50. Prop 50 is the proposition that could gerrymander or redistrict California. Now, this is a lawful redistricting effort that is going to be decided by the voters. If successful, only needs a majority. If successful, Prop 50 will ensure that Democrats pick up about 5, potentially 6 or 7 congressional seats in the House of Representatives heading into 2026. This is the big election as it relates to next year. And if Prop 50 is successful, expect Democrats to take back the House of Representatives and Mike Johnson to lose his job. Now, that is very significant. We will see what happens, but all signs point to Democrats winning in Prop 50 in California as well. Republicans have all but pulled out of that election. They have stopped relatively spending. Gavin Newsom, the governor, has said, stop donating. Stop donating. We don't need your money anymore because of how confident they are in this upcoming election. On election night, expect coverage from me every hour as I provide you with updates about who is winning, where they're winning, and by how much they are winning. This is a major test run for the President of the United States, a major test run for the country just 9 months after the pendulum swung very far to the right, and just 1 year after Vice President Kamala Harris lost in what actually is one of the closest presidential elections of the 21st century. That's all the news right now. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my work. And I'll see you in the morning with another update, so stay tuned for more.